Could I ask one or two questions?
Yeah.
Briefly. It's been almost a year since, I forget his name, the Assistant State Superintendent came down and Mr. McClellan came down and spoke about the issue of control, etc. And I thought there was some indication given at the time that there would be maybe a subsequent visit or a subsequent confirmation that all is good in Lincoln County, we're moving on. And then we got a press release from Lisa Corderio the other day about just a routine press release about a policy the State Board passed last week, I guess, with regard to innovation zones, education innovation zones. And I'm not questioning the policy, but it says that the policy was passed to allow counties under state control to participate in education innovation zones. And then it says the board has intervened and taken over control in Gilmer, Lincoln, Preston, Grant, Fayette, Mingo, and has provisional control in MacDowell. So the way this press release was presenting it to the uninformed reader would be that there is still an element, maybe a significant element, of state control here. When I'm doing Donna's interview for the paper this week and interviewing board candidates, like Carol a few weeks ago for the election, it was very difficult to phrase questions about state control because it's still not entirely clear to me where we are. So I'm very careful phrasing those. So is the day going to come when everything is handed over, or has that day passed already, or does anyone really know?
We received a letter, and I can't recall the exact terminology in that letter. You might know that. Okay. With
We
that
pulled it out
letter.
today, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
okay. And the only thing that we are doing at this point is we are submitting the minutes of the board meetings. The board has full control. They make all of the decisions regarding every aspect of the county school system. There will be a time in the very near future that we will no longer have to do that.
Okay.
And that will be forthcoming.
When did they turn curriculum over to us?
Based on the report with continued conditional approval status. So what the terminology they used, they continued conditional approval status for Lincoln County Schools.
Okay. And I have been very careful phrasing that. I don't know if anyone picked up on it, but it is kind of awkward, you know. It's easy to editorialize each week about the great progress the board has made, but you're still in the back of your mind thinking, well, there's never been a formal vote, there's never been a formal handover or anything like that. So I just wanted to, as the year kind of comes to a close and Donna's moving on after one more meeting, it just occurred to me last week. But that's fine. So you think there might be movement?
There is movement.
Okay, in the near future.
I have confirmation of that
Okay.
as recently as today.
Oh,
So
there
there
we
will.
Great minds.
There will be. It was so funny that you came up with that question.
This letter you have here, it's dated,
It was 2011, August 9th.
oh, 2011, that's okay. I
Oh,
thought that, you said conditional approval, and I thought that had
That's
been
what
done
I thought it
recently.
was.
Yeah, me
recent
too.
letter.
I thought-
This is last year's letter.
And that's the
Okay.
last time we heard from them, correct?
But nothing has changed from that
No.
phrase.
I just thought she'd gotten a
correct?
new letter.
Okay.
dated like
Yeah, me
this-
too.
Reaffirm.
That's what I thought too. Still.
No, this was the letter that they gave us
Yeah,
last
the letter,
year.
yeah.
I was thinking what Tricia's saying and the letter saying doesn't jive.
Me too.
That, but they will be letting us know.
And it will be a significant, it'll be a moment that will be marked, do you think, at a
Yes.
state meeting? At a state board
Yes.
meeting?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes, it definitely will be.
Right.
A great celebration.
fine. Well, I mean, just let us know, because, it's the kind of thing we could miss. The other question is with regard to the food service director position. I may have missed something, but that that's obviously a huge saving of money to the board. Is there a reason the position is being scrapped and RISA is, for what to me was a highly successful few years for the food service program, it just seemed to happen. And obviously you guys knew what was happening. I'm not fully clued in as to why that position was scrapped.
Well, we are going to be receiving the oversight, the services through RISA,
Uh-huh.
through a person that they have hired. Number one, we had to make sure we had someone with that certification.
Okay.
And there's certain prescribed certificates that you have to have in order to be certified as a food service director. And Ms. Pritchard is a coordinator.
Okay.
And she is, and has the skills and the ability to do the day-to-day oversight. With the program that we had this year, we will be bringing that to the board next time as well. We want to continue that.
Right.
And it will be, they will be decreasing some of the requirements that you have to go through for, as far as application and certification, certifying applications and those kinds of things.
Okay.
Which would decrease some of the day-to-day job
Right.
responsibility. So we felt that Ms. Pritchard would be able to run that program
Okay.
and then have the oversight of a food service director. And it would be a savings, not only money-wise, but as a position. And we've talked many times about, us being careful as far as personnel. And during the time that we were going through the personnel season and the counselors were decreased in number due to money. The question was asked in the open session if we had looked at administrators
Okay.
at that time. Okay, this opportunity came up and we felt when we looked at it that was an ample opportunity for us to be able to save a position as well as the money.
And let me ask my third and final question. The County Commission last week came up with an idea to use 90,000 of the 100,000 set aside for the football field to pay for the shortfall in councillor funding. Has the board been, I understand a letter was to be sent from the Hill down here. Has it made its way?
It made its way,
Okay.
and I was not here yesterday, and I was only here half a day today, and I just read the letter, and that is going to be on the 28th. I'm going to be bringing that to the board, let them know what they'll see, what that letter says, and then I'll make my recommendation to them, and they'll make the decision.
I look forward to it.
Go get the play.
Thank you.
This is off the record. This is off the record. It's off the record.
It's
Turn it off, we're nearly finished
I
anyway.
can't turn this off.
His TV
Oh, you
cameras
can't
on.
turn that off. Okay, I'm gonna wait
I'm
till,
sorry,
I'm
sorry.
gonna wait till he turns it off. But anyway, I'll make my comment after the board meeting is
Good.
finished.
Anything else?
Move the adjourn.
Okay, it's 1 o'clock, or 2 o'clock. Who made that motion?
I did.
Wilson, second. Oh, yes, vote?
Yeah.
Yes.